Hi everybody, my name is Andrew. I co-host a weekly show called the Bad Guitarist Podcast alongside my wife Kat. It's where we talk about all things guitars, pedals, amplifiers, gear news, and we give our hot takes on the latest releases. Kat focuses heavily on the prices and the aesthetics of things, being that she's not a guitar player, and I like to focus on the context of where I think certain things would be useful for certain players. And today I want to start a new show for the channel, and I don't want it to necessarily be reviews or demos of products, but I will talk about new products as we get some here and there. But I want to talk about where these products play a role in how I apply them in my guitar playing. So for instance, today's episode is about my journey looking for the perfect overdrive. This has been going on for a long time now, but in particular, the last 2 to 3 years, I went from playing in bands in high volume situations where I had 100-watt amps running at high headroom where you could really crank an overdrive pedal and get the most out of it. Something like the Boss Blues Driver, you could really get the most out of it in a situation like that versus a low wattage amp at a low volume where you might get like a real flabby sound where there's unnecessary overtones that may not be pleasant and definitely do not record very well, which is a situation I ran into recently myself. So I've been plugging into roughly 20-watt amps, 15 to 20-watt amps for recording, and I just could not find the right overdrive that worked for me to record at a low volume. Now, I'm not talking about like super whisper quiet, but nowhere near my 100-watt Fenders. And so I took a chance on a pedal that recently came out, and I'm really glad I did. It is the JHS Lari Basilio Signature Violet. So this comes in 2 colorways, black with purple knobs or purple with pink knobs. I went with the black, and what stood out to me was the fact that this has the 3-band EQ, which is a step up from any overdrive that just has the single tone knob. But this also has the mid-frequency control, and the mid-frequency and mid-controls actually go before the gain, whereas your treble and bass go after the gain. So I thought that's a really interesting concept. I've got to hear how that sounds. So I watched as many demos as I could. Not many came out at the time of me purchasing this pedal, because it came out on a Monday, and I think I ordered it by Thursday or Wednesday. And so I really wasn't sure, and I'm sure a bunch of you guys have run into the same issue where you don't have local shops that carry a wide range of pedals. And your only option is to watch demos and order one blindly. You don't really know how it's going to sound with your amp, your guitars, and your whole setup. You really don't know. And you don't have the same gear or the same playing style as the person you're watching in these videos. But, I really took a chance. I watched the JHS release video multiple times, and what really stood out to me in that video was that they talk about how you can really dial in a Morning Glory sound at the lower gain. So I really wanted to get that sound, but I always wanted to have a blues breaker circuit with just a little bit more gain on tap. And I thought this could finally be the solution. And there are other options on the market. There's the, Analog Man, Prince of Tone. MXR makes the miniature version, the Duke of Tone. Those are both great pedals. But the problem there is to get to the higher gain settings, you have to flip a toggle switch. I wanted something where I could just, on the fly, if needed, crank that volume, crank the gain, and, be where I need to be in a situation where I just need a little bit more gain. So I bought this, and I am not a virtuoso player like Lari Basilio, who plays more in the realm of Joe Satriani and Steve Vai. I play a lot of like lo-fi, bedroom pop, garage band type music. I don't play heavier styles. I have in the past, but I'm not like a metal musician or anything. So really I was after this for the overdrive settings where I could crank up that gain a lot, and then as needed, I don't need a separate distortion pedal on my board. This would do both for me. Now, I was actually surprised this also does a great fuzz tone. So we're just going to go through it, and we're going to run through a couple different settings that I found were, good for me. Hopefully you guys, find some kind of application for this. Let's jump into it. So this first one is going to be a low gain boost / overdrive sound. Mostly a clean boost with just on the edge of breakup. I've got everything pretty much at noon, but I've got the mid frequency turned just slightly down about 10 o'clock. Alright, in the second one, I'm going to go through and turn up the gain just a little bit, up to about 11 o'clock, and we're going to try to hit that morning glory sound. So we're going to turn up the mid knob, turn the mid frequency up to about 2 o'clock. We're going to turn the treble up pretty high, about 3 o'clock, and then we're going to turn the bass down just a little bit. Alright, in this next clip, we're going to turn the gain up about 75% of the way. We're going to crank up the treble just a little bit more, bring in a little bit more of that bass, turn the mid frequency up, and we're going to just hear how that sounds as a good distortion that kind of sounds more like a fuzz. Alright, and now we're going to crank everything up except for that mid control. We're going to take that completely out. And that's where we're going to get into that, heavier metal chugging kind of sound. Alright everybody, thanks for checking out the video. Please let us know in the comments what you think about the JHS Violet. I think it's a great pedal. It's going to be on my board for a very long time. And I think for now, at least, my journey has ended looking for the perfect overdrive. If you liked the video, yeah, please feel free to leave us a comment. If you didn't like it, please leave us a comment and tell us what you didn't like and what we can improve upon. Still trying to get used to cameras and set up the lighting and all that. So, we're really trying to just figure this whole thing out. But we look forward to doing more content for you guys. Other than that, please check out the weekly podcast, and we are available on Instagram at Bad Guitarist Podcast. We're also on TikTok under the same name. And yeah, we're here on YouTube, all major podcasting platforms, and we do have a small Facebook page that we started, but it's very small at this point. But if you want to join the community, please feel free. All right, thanks, and we'll catch you next time.